everybody. Thank you guys for coming. I guess a show of hands, how many people have heard of Code Chrysalis before this? Oh, a lot of people. All right. Wow, cool. How many people in the audience are developers, software engineers, some kind of coder? Okay. How many people are entrepreneurs in the audience? All right, cool stuff. Well, I guess I want to welcome all of you guys to Code Chrysalis. My name is Yan. I'm one of the co-founders. I'm the CTO. And Kani-san, back there, he is the CEO. We met each other about a year ago in San Francisco. Kani had the idea of bringing Code Chrysalis to the US, to Japan, starting an advanced software engineering school here. And for us, we look for more than just technical skills. I want to really quickly bring up some of the supporters that we've had, especially Pivotal, Rakuten AirMap, RGA, Hito Media, for the lovely space, Computer Future, Stripe, Justa, Wall & Case, and Non-Quixote. These have all been companies that have supported us through our mission, either by providing advice, by partnering with us. Pivotal, for example, hosted our students for 2-day workshops, learning about product development and how Pivotal approaches products and approaches software. Rakuten AirMap as well for providing our students with a really cool real-life experience, which we'll talk about later. RGA for hosting our students for half a day where we learned about how they apply Agile to the way that they do things. And then all these other really great companies. So we want to thank everyone that has helped us out, and also all of you guys for showing up. Please add us, connect with us. We have these weekly videos that come out, so please check them out. Also Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're all on those. I would like to start us off with some student introductions. Our students come from all sorts of different backgrounds. And during our course, they make apps that are both on teams and also solo. So today we'll have a few students present some of the projects that they worked on by them on their own. So, Ryuta.
Sure. Okay, thank you for coming today. I'm going to present my first solo project in this cohort, and the product name is CC Simulates. And before that, a little bit about me. My name is Ryuta Udo, and born and raised in Japan. And before Code Chrysalis, I was working as a quality assurance and customer support for e-learning application company. And later that I worked for a marketing company as marketer and account manager. And currently I like tracking the trend technology such as blockchain. Actually, I didn't know anything about blockchain, but in this cohort, in this course, I learned what the blockchain from scratch, and I had meetup at the workshop about that. And about these products. This app is for simulating cryptocurrency prices, and in this application, you can purchase cryptocurrency on a certain day, and show how much does it cost to buy it, and check current price of your purchase. And text for this application, for front end, I use React and Redux, and to get the price of cryptocurrency, I use Coinbase API. And to visualize price changes, I used recharts. That's the connection between React and D3 technology. And to bundle that, I used Webpack. For backend, I used Node and server, Express for server, database for Postgres, and deployed on Heroku. Okay, this is demo time. This is my application screen, and you can see what you purchase it. Okay, and if you cursor it, you can confirm how price changed, and how much does it cost for it. And if you want to add something, click here and select certain day and what you want to buy. I wanted the Bitcoin and US dollar and submit. And oh yeah, Bitcoin is added. And if you want to also update, you can just go to update page and then you can delete or update, whatever. So that's my products. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christian. I come from Germany. 11 years ago, I was the first hired developer by Trivago. My first task was creating a full stack application 11 years ago. Now it's not more a small company. My responsibility is a cross-platform, cross-language A/B testing framework to developing, which is used by around 100 developers in daily usage. On the other hand side, creating analytics KPA software that the company see if it good impact this A/B test or not. I'm here for pushing up my JavaScript skills because it's very long ago that I taught JavaScript and it's very changed. And I want to talk a bit about my solo project, in this case a closures price comparison, which is written in 2 different languages. The front-end application is, I use JavaScript, and the back-end application I use Ruby, because I used threads in the background. In my case is I search for a product, for example, for women, men, or children, get the products from the product code, backend for every product and every partner, for example Amazon or Zalando. I create a thread to getting data to aggregate with product-based and delivery with to a front-end application. We can filter this and search for the product for the cheapest price. For front-end, use JavaScript, Redux, React, and Webpack. For backend, Ruby, because I want to learn this application, this language, and use threads. And for deployment, I choose Heroku. This is my application. We have the minimum price and maximum price, which I delivered from several mock APIs. We can filter, for example, Armani products are maybe too expensive. I can only filter for Hugo Boss products or for prices that you have the cheapest product. This is my application.
How's everybody doing tonight? Pretty good?
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Hello, my name is Ilya Hadi, and a little bit about me is, as you can see, I've worked in a few different countries and also worked in a few different industries, such as being a management consultant in Afghanistan and also being a product manager, a former product manager in China, and now I'm a full stack developer here. And so some things that are interesting about me is I love ramen, and if you're familiar with San Francisco, I swam from Alcatraz Island to San Francisco. And so in my talk, I'm just going to go quickly over a movie listing web application. I love movies, and so with this movie listing app, here is a full stack, and for the front end, it focuses primarily in React and Redux. And the back end focuses on Node and Express, as well as the database Mongo. And so now I'm just going to show you the demo of it. So as you can see here on the landing page, it shows obviously an image, and then it looks at movie listings below. And so if you're looking at a CRUD application, so it reads the data, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a movie. I'm going in the admin tab here. And so I'm just going to add something like Interstellar with a description like humans find new worlds. Here we go. And then I'm going to add a pricing here. And so that's then I'm going to go into the home page and then see that it's added here. And so that's the create and read part of the application. And then if I wanted to do the updating, I can add it to the cart and then just alter the quantities here, and then also delete it. So that's my application for a CRUD application, a full stack application. And so just to talk a little bit about the tech trade-offs of this movie app. So on the front end using React and Redux, if you're using React, it's great for faster website loading, but at the cost of using Redux, it sometimes perhaps takes a little bit more time to do one action, writing more code. But using a database, Mongo database, it's an advantage. It's flexible for the user, but it's also not as consistent in terms of checking the valid states. And then separately, for the back end, using Express and Node, you can with Node.js you can write it server side. But also at the cost, it's not best for heavy computation. And then also I have some other projects. I'd be happy to talk to you afterwards. But I've done just some of those technologies using the front end. I'm using React, back end I'm using Ruby, Express, and also APIs and authentication. So please come talk to me afterwards, and thank you very much for your time.
One of the parts of our curriculum is that our students get 1 week to choose a language that they have never learned before and build a full stack app with it. Christian earlier, when he was showing his e-commerce app, that was actually done during that week. So we're going to have 2 other students also introduce the applications that they made during what we call our polyglottal week.
Okay, let's start my presentation. My application name is Onsen Tracker, which we call it Places of Onsen. Before presentation, a little bit about me. My name is Masataka. I have experience for consultant and project leader in NTT Data, which is the Japanese company for IT services. And I built a disaster recovery site and credit card payment system for Japan Patent Office. And so I'm good at team building and communicating with customer. Also, I have experience for translating the Bitcoin book into Japanese. This book is originally written by Bitcoin core developer Nicolas Durier in English. So you can read the book both in Japanese and in English. This is a story about my application. One of my friends said to me, I love to go to many places of onsen, so I want to record the places of them and then share with his friends. So I decided to make this application. About technology stack, for backend I'm using Golang, and then in order to make server, I chose the Iris. This is a framework for server made with Golang. And for database, I chose the Postgres. And then using the GoPG, this is the for OR mapping for database made with Golang. And for frontend, I'm using JavaScript and React Redux. And then for routing page, I'm using React Router. And then for style, I chose the React Bootstrap. And deploy the application with Webpack and Babel. Okay, it's demo time. This is my application, and then the marker shows the prices of onsen. Of course, you can recall the name of onsen. For example, this is in the Oita Prefecture, and then Kyushu District, and you can put the rating and submit. So. Okay, maybe already recorded, maybe. So go back to the map. Okay, so here, if you hit the marker, so this is the now I put the data, name and address. Also, you can filter. So if you hit the Kanto button, so automatically zoom in the Kanto, and then you can see the places onsen in Kanto district. A little bit about Golang. My challenges through learning Golang is Golang needs a memory reference. So figure out memory reference is a little bit difficult for me. It's kind of similar to C or C++. And there are several frameworks for the server, maybe 7 or 8. So I chose the Iris because it has many documents and examples. So it's easy to search how to use it. And the strength of Golang is the Go can reach the raw performance about the CPU and memory. So it is said that Go works very fast. And also, there are many documents about Golang and frameworks, so it's easy to find the syntax or how to use the frameworks. And this Golang is developed by Google, so yeah, and then now it's being popular. So this is strengths. And if you want to make the application with Golang and Postgres, I recommend you GoPG because this can do the OR mapping. And also, I recommend you Iris because, yeah, as I told you, Iris has many documents and examples. And when deploying on Heroku, use Heroku build-pack Go. And Golang has many package managers, and then Heroku now is progressing for the supporting many package manager, so you can see the documents about Heroku. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. For this project, I chose Ruby to learn, and I was using a framework called Rails. to build my application called My Stocks. Just a little bit about myself. I was born and raised up in Austria, but then I was always keen to go to Asia. So after getting my business degree, I decided to go to Taiwan first. I was working in the finance industry, first as a prop trader. And during this time, I was building algorithmic trading systems for the bank. And we were using time series analysis and also machine learning. So we had to build trading system in a programmatic way. And we were using MATLAB and VBA for that. I got more interested into the technical aspect of finance. That's why I decided to learn financial engineering in Singapore. And during this time, I was also interning with a fintech startup company. And this was then the time when I was touching software development. I also got more interested in software development. So after coming to Japan, I decided I want to make the transition from finance to tech. So as said before, I learned Ruby during this week. So these are the things that I learned. For the IDE, you can use several IDEs. Atom, VS Code, Athena, or RubyMine. I heard good things about RubyMine. And for the package manager, people use Ruby Gems. So it manages dependencies, libraries, and frameworks. The framework in Ruby is Ruby on Rails, or simply just Rails. So it handles everything for you. You just type in this command in the terminal, and it does everything for you. It's really easy. And one other thing that I would like to mention is the community. It's very friendly towards beginners, and I think it is a good way to start a career in web development using Ruby. So for my application, it's called My Stocks, and it lets users to track their favorite stocks and save them. I was using 3 gems or packages for Ruby called Bootstrap says, which is handling the styling, then Device, which handles the user management like subscription or login, and the third one called Stock Quote. And yeah, I had this incident with Stock Quote on Monday during our rehearsal 3 days ago. I was presenting, but then my app just stopped working, and yeah, I panicked a little bit because Stock Quote was accessing Google Finance to pull the data, but then some time ago, 1 week ago, Google decided to stop the access to it, so I couldn't pull the data. So, but then Ruby is just handles everything for the developer. I just updated the stock code, and it was just pulling the data from another source, and in this case, IX Trading API. So, for the demo, so this is the landing page. So the user can type the ticker here, and then pull the data from the API. So I typed Google. So the current stock price is at 1,004.56, and it also pulls several other financial metrics, and also a short description. Now the user can also sign up, or by putting the email and the password, or just log in. And then if we click at here, My Stocks, we get the list that he saved with My Stocks. We have Apple, Microsoft, and other companies. Let's say we want to check Microsoft Corporation. It trades at 89.39, and we also get the other financial data. And then we can also add a new stock. We add Facebook to it, and we see it's listed in the list. And the user can also change the password here, or if it's unhappy with My Stocks, then delete it. And I hope not. So the challenges that I faced during this project, I was using Windows, but it's a little bit difficult to set it up on Windows because of some versions. It's much friendlier for Mac and Linux users. So not since we are only given 1 week, I decided, okay, I go online. So I used an online IDE called Cloud9, which was acquired by Amazon. And they are using a Linux environment, so it was much easier than for me. And the other thing is deploying on Heroku. They don't allow SQLite because they say it's not production ready, so I had to change my code to Postgres SQL to run. Thank you.
All right, cool. So these are some of the applications that our students have built so far. All the ones that you guys just saw were ones that they did on their own, so not on a team. And usually they only had about 1 week to do it. So it's quite a lot, which is like really admirable that they were able to do so many. So one of the other parts of our program is we actually work with a company called Rakuten AirMap. And they do drone APIs, so dealing with like that drone space, etc. So it's a really cool exchange where our students get to work on some new APIs, give feedback to the company about what's working, what's not, how they're enjoying it, what needs to get fixed. And then also they get some real world experience building an application. And then they also go and present it at Rakuten headquarters to the AirMap teams. It's a really cool experience. So Masa and Itza will introduce or show you guys one of the apps that they built for AirMap.
Okay, let's start our presentation. Our application name is Rescue Drone QQ. The last word is 9, but the Japanese say Q. And QQ means rescue team in Japan. So we named our application Rescue Drone QQ. A little bit about our team member. Shingo is absent today because he's sick. He was responsible for creating flight plan for drone with Google Map API, and I was responsible for backend.
And I was responsible for the front end as well as the user location.
Okay, this is user stories. You know, there are sometimes disasters like earthquake, volcano, or avalanche in Japan. And then when the disaster happens, rescue team tries to go there and help people or send a first aid. But then it's sometimes difficult or impossible to go there because it's dangerous. So we thought that if the rescue team has a drone, they can send a drone, not humans, to send a first aid. And also, users can use this application in order to call for help for rescue team. And if you want to send a drone, you need to make a flight plan for drone and submit the plan to the air control center, and then get the permission. So we are using the AirMap API to create flight plan and submit it to air control. Technology stack is the following. We are using React Redux for frontend, and then in order to deploy application, we are using Webpack. And also are using Google Map API to show map and then create a flight plan. We are using the Node Express.js for backend to create server, and then for database we chose Postgres, and then deploy the application on Heroku. Okay, it's demo time.
Okay, so this is the page that users see. We have a map component in the sidebar. So the user clicks on this button and can call for help, and it registers the location of the user. Now here the user can specify his situation. For example, he can say fire broke out, help. In a future release, we would like to translate into a voicemail because in time of urgency it might be better rather than typing in. So then the user can hit the send button and we get the confirmation. Now as a member of the QQ team, we get all the messages and we need to manage it. We click here. This page consolidates all the messages from the users, and depending on the urgency of the citation, then we decide okay, which case we want to send our drone to. So for example, Satoshi-san, he's saying, oh, there's a huge earthquake happening. So we create a flight plan for him. So on this side, we see all the parameters that we need to send to the AirMap API. Some of them are by default over there, but then we can change it if we want to. Let's say we change the altitude to 70, then also select the pilot. And next we need to create the flight area, and we can do this directly on the map. This button, this icon is our headquarters, and this user location is represented by this icon. So we create our flight plan just by drawing it on the map. Click here. It creates the flight map area for us, and then we can submit it to the AirMap API, and we get a confirmation.
For future plans, as it said, if disaster happens, a user doesn't have the time to put words with keyboard, so we will implement record the audio messages, and also showing current drone location on user map, because if the user calls for help, users wants to know the current places of the drone. And finally, we will implement this application on mobile. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Woohoo! All right, so I'm really excited for these final two projects. For most of the course, our students only have 1 week to do everything, or even less sometimes. Their projects, they only have a couple days. So their final projects, we give them a very generous 2 weeks to do a project. There's 2 teams, so I'll let them introduce themselves. So, first team, Japanese.
Hello. Our application is Cobalt, and our team name is Japanese because we have 2 Japanese inside the team and 1 German. But today is Shingo sick. He created the backend for our application. I'm creating the backend too for his application.
I'm a front-end and back-end developer in this project.
The purpose of this application is a weird story. Last year I say I want to come to Germany. I want to come to Japan, but I cannot speak this language. This is the reason why I buy the book Nina no Nihongo. Every word I learned I put into a flashcard. After some months I had too much flashcards. I searched a solution for so many flashcards, and I found one. This is an online application, so I can put all my flashcards into it. But I cannot hear every word and I cannot speak every word. When I come to Japan, I try to speak Japanese, but nobody understands me. This is the reason why we created Cobalt. This is the application where I can put all flashcards into it. I can hear every word and I can say it, and we have a small validation for this.
Okay, our demo time. This is our application screen. and that's best season for it. And first of all, you need to sign in. So you hit sign in, and then I'll use Google. And now after signing, you have dashboard here. And first of all, you need to add flashcard by yourself. So first of all, you need to go to manage. And here you can see the list of flashcards you currently have, and now you have only one flashcard. So you want to add something else. To add new card, create new flashcard, and you can see creating mode of interface. And to create new flashcard, you hit the button here and then speak Japanese. For example, Ohayo gozaimasu. Now you can see Japanese and English translated text. And if you can only speak English, don't worry. You can use the other side. So press the button and then speak English. Good morning. And good morning and Ohayo gozaimasu. And if you're comfortable with it, just save. And you're successful to store data. And you go back to dashboard. Now you have something to learn. So you want to go to learn. And you can see the flashcard you just added. And to answer, you need to answer that in correct way. And after hitting this button, say, Ohayo gozaimasu.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
So you're correct. So you can go to the next flashcard. And if you say something incorrect, you get also feedback for it. Doitsujin.
わかりません、もう一度。
So you need to say correct words. And now you don't know the answer. How can I show the answer? Just flip it. Oh, we said Deutsch. So go back and then say Deutsch.
ドイツ。
Yeah, you're correct. And if you don't have any flashcard, you successfully get fireworks. And so this is our application.
Okay. For the front end, we use again React and Redux, Bootstrap for the design and Webpack. For backend, Node.js, Express, and for the authentication Passport, that you can use a local authentication and Google authentication. And deployment, this application is deployed with Heroku. For the creating mode, we record the voice and transform it into text with the web speech API. Then we use the text and translate it into English or Japanese with the Google Translate API. And when the flashcard is completely, we save it in the database, in this case PostgreSQL. For the learning mode, it's very similar. We record our voice, transform it into text with the web speech API, validate the text if it is correct or not. When it's correct, we can go to the next flashcard. When it's wrong, we need to repeat it again.
And challenge we faced, we have some challenges in this project, but especially authentication. This is what my other team member of us, Shingo, implemented. But that is one of the heaviest part. And we need a unique user ID to get a unique flashcard unique to that user, specific user. So user need to log in. We use Passport to allow this application to authenticate. And that Passport make a request to Google Authentication API server, and then that server get back access token and then redirect to our homepage. In this redirection, we're supposed to redirect to dashboard, but this app is single page application, so it always redirect to homepage. So we had a problem for it. So for solution for this, we implement another feature to send back the query to Google API server and then check if it's correct or not, and then using that query send back to the dashboard. So this is that was our solution. And future plans for this application. First, we want to add flashcard sharing feature because sometimes it's really hard to make a good amount of flashcards. So if user can share it, or if you can use the other flashcard, that's really smooth and efficient. And also, the marketplace want to implement, because if you have created good set of flashcards, such as a flashcard for a restaurant, flashcard for a traveler, that would be really nice to buy and purchase it, sell it. So that's our future plan. So that's it. Thank you.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Dankeschön.
Okay, this is our last presentation. We are Team Amazon. So if you're interested, you can download the application on the Play Store. It is a mobile app. So before we start, I would like to introduce the team members.
I was responsible for creating the taking picture feature and accessing some APIs.
I was responsible for the keyword search and camera roll.
And I was responsible for the UI, the APIs, the Firebase, and also handling the Play Store. So this is the outline of our presentation. We start with the use case and then dive straight into the demo. Then we talk shortly on a high level how our app works. And then we end our presentation with the challenges and our thoughts about future work. So have you ever been in a situation where you saw a product and then you want to buy it, but then rather than keying all the keywords by yourself, why not just take a photo? Just it might be as easy as like snap it, select it, buy it.
Okay, so now it's demo time. So what I'm going to do is just open up the app, Amazon. And so the first thing that you see is the camera, and what I'm going to do is take a picture of this Rubik's Cube right here. And just click on the button, snap. And then what's happening now is it's posting this data to the image recognition API. And then after some processing from CloudSide, the image recognition API, it's going to analyze the picture. And then we're going to get the status of it in terms of the data. And as you can see, the image recognition is quite good. It's a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. And so what I'm going to do is just pass this string data to the Amazon API. And you can see then it has a listing of products there. And so I'm just going to go, it's all Rubik's Cube, so I'm just going to go to the first one. And so it's going to go to an external browser for Amazon. So that's one workflow. And so we're going to just do the same thing for selecting an existing photo. Let's just do that. Camera roll, just like this. And so it's going to go through this similar process, posting it to the image recognition API, analyzing the data. And then you can see this is where the keyword search is. And so again, the image recognition is quite good, but I'm going to alter it a little bit. And so I'm just going to get rid of the DLSR and add another search term, EOS. And then go ahead and submit that. And that's going to go back to Amazon, and you can see the text. It's a little bit small, but it says Canon EOS at the top. And so we're going to go to that. Amazon again, and so that's one last workflow. And then an additional feature that we just implemented today is just seeing the history of our results, and you can see the top is Canon Camera EOS. And so, so that's our app. And then separately, you can also download this app on the Google Play Store. So just search for Amazon, and it's the top. It's that listing. So feel free to try it, and thank you, and I'll pass it off to my colleagues.
So on our on a high level, our app works like this. So you saw it. The user takes a picture, and then we post it to the cloud-side API for analysis. So after 3 or 4 seconds, we send a second request to the cloud side and ask what keywords or what keywords did it analyzed from the picture. So it was displayed on the UI of the mobile app, and then once the user hit the submit button, we do 2 things. One is save the data to a database, and in our case we use Google Firebase. So we store some raw data like the keywords, a timestamp, and also an anonymous user ID, so that we can see what the user likes, and then in the future release we can then maybe implement a new feature like specific for the user. And the second thing is it sends the keywords to the Amazon API, which then returns a list of the products, which will then also display on the mobile app.
So as it said, we're now implemented this story recording the keyword. So we can analyze what is popular or what is not popular, and we can feedback to the e-commerce or product shop. Our challenge is so there are some image recognition APIs. So we checked and tried all of them, and finally we were able to find the cloud-side API returns the most accurate answer to us. So, but cloud-side API is not still perfect, so we created a new feature like keyword search. So keyword search let users put search words with keyboard, and also we let users select words given by image recognition API with yellow button. For further work, now Firebase, our database has only raw data, so we will implement the metrics with search products using Firebase and showing UI. And also we will implement the feature for comparing to other e-commerce sites like Rakuten or Yahoo or something like that. And then also finally we will deploy this application on iOS Store. As Ilya shows, it's already on Google Play Store, so you can get it if you use Android. Okay, so use this application and then snap it and select it and buy it. Thank you.
Oh man, so if I can ask all the students to come up. Oh, well, stay there. Yeah, that was. Actually, there's not very much space here, so I think this might work out. Although for cameras, should we have them over here? Everything's good?
No problem.
Yeah. To the light, to the light. I don't know if you can turn on the light. It's a little dark. Oh. How's that look? All right, cool. Well, first round of applause for all of I think we can open it up for a short Q&A, and then afterwards, Connie wants to say a few things, and then we'll get to cheers their success. So, does anyone have any questions about any of the projects that they did or whatnot? Any questions? Don't be shy.
On the language app, was the comparison between the two sounds like part of the Google API, or did you have to put that in?
Translation API?
Yeah.
Yeah, we compared some, we did some experiment and then how it works, and then from our experiment, Google API is the best, and also that has a lot of language support. So we choose Google Translation API.
For the image recognition, I'm just curious, to what extent it's effective, or do you have any case it took this effectively, but this it didn't register, or do you have anything like that that would illuminate?
So so the image recognition is not perfect.
Yeah.
So it certainly depends on the product that you're taking. For example, if you take an image of a tea bottle, it might not be specific to what you're looking for. In terms of the brand, for example.
Right.
But if you do something a little bit more clear, like a Rubik's Cube in this case, the results are better. But this is where the keyword search comes in, because with a human element, we can filter it in case the image recognition isn't perfect.
So it doesn't display much brand names. If you just take a picture of a logo, would that come up kind of thing, or?
So you saw in the Canon camera, so it does come up with logos.
For the language app, how hard would it be to add other languages besides English and Japanese?
How implement the other language?
How difficult would it be
This
to
is
add
in the background layout is really easy. You only need to make flashcards that you define the first language and second language, and this is all. This is maybe 1 hour change. But my problem in this case was to learn Japanese, and this is what we use with language combination.
I think there was a question back there. Yeah.
So Skinner defines learning as being a change in behavior. And part of what you're doing is you're here to learn. In one word, what was the most important thing that you learned from your project? One word.
Perseverance. No matter what the obstacle is, there's always going to be problems, bugs, or just features that we need to develop. So I
How
would
does
say,
that change your behavior?
how does that change the behavior? It's in terms of you don't give up. If there's something that's you feel we wanted to do this direction, we wanted to go this direction. In terms of we didn't think we need the keyword search, for example, because the image recognition API we thought was going to be good enough, but we had to think of something else, and this is where we had to persevere in finding a new feature to implement. That's just me.
Okay. It's not one word, but welcome to the new things. For example, so you have your own style, but you have something new you are taught by others. Don't refuse it, and then just try it, and then compare how it works. What's the difference, and what's better? That's mine.
For me, it was, I think, empathy, because often you will stuck, and then you need help, outside help. And then if you have empathy and just ask around, be it on the internet, also or with the team members, I think it is really important to have a good workflow, team culture, so that we can produce something. Often you will just hit a wall, and then if you discuss it with your colleagues or ask questions on the internet, you get feedback. And then also help others if you know the answer. So, empathy.
In my case, it was teamwork. I come from Germany, and I worked with 2 Japanese guys the first time. And of course, I tried to explain how I explained it in Germany. And we speak the same language, English, but we don't speak together. And this needs, for me, a little time to understand this talking together.
Same.
So for me, it's the most important. The most important thing is being open-minded to everything. So yeah, for me, it's first experience for working with the people coming from abroad, and so communicating only in English and then making something. So it's difficult for me. So but then. Communicating, so finally we can get along with everyone, and so also actually in this course, not only programming, so but you can have the practice of presentation or voice training or something like that. Yeah, voice training. So in order to make presentation better and better. So. Being open-minded to everything is the most important for me. I learned in this course.
Very good.
Are there any other questions?
Could you please explain why did you choose Firebase for the backend application? I mean, there are so many serverless service. Is there any special reason or?
So it is easy to set up first, and it is also real time, so we can perform analytics on real time, and it is a service like a database as a service. So how's it called? Software as a service, exactly. And you don't need to do all the other stuff. So it was like, because we are given only, I think 2 weeks time, so we are left not with much time. So if you want to do prototyping really fast, so it was easy to do that with Firebase. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions? Oh,
Got
hey.
one. So this is a general question, it's to everybody really. So now that you've been through this experience and you've developed the app, if you were to go back and do it again, what would you do differently, and what things would you definitely do the same, if anything?
Do you mean this course?
I think
the
the
next
senior
time you
project,
build
Oh, senior project.
like this.
Okay, so no, you guys want to start? Anybody?
You can go first.
Okay. For our image recognition app, I guess personally, so we had a few ideas in terms of like what we'd be doing. Like, then we had some additional help for coming up with this idea. So because like we were just thinking of like a cryptocurrency app initially. So there was a little bit of a time wasted there. So if we had that time back, we could implement it more features. So, but that's something like in terms of the discovery of like, because you can choose, you can build any app, for example. But in our case, we took a little bit more time than I think I would have liked to actually start working on the actual app. That's what I would say.
Can go next. When we made this application, make one feature and next make one feature, next come up with the idea and make one feature. So take our agile style. So it's good style. So maybe for absolutely I want to do this, and then so splitting task is a little bit not good. So because maybe the one task has that many to do things. So if I can do this project repeatedly, I want to split more tasks small, and then distributed tasks. Yeah. Next.
Yeah, for me, it's like communicate closely because in some project we sometimes we have the tasks separately, and then when I see the progress of the others, something I didn't expect it is implemented, and then I need to go back somehow. So communicate closely and frequently is really important, and that make sure we are same alignments. And yeah, that's the things we do. We will do. I will do. Sorry.
For me, it's easy. A small light task, yet very big task. We don't split it with too much up. And every time when someone merges something into a master, every else in the team has a merge conflict. And a small task maybe is better.
Yes.
Specific to this project, to the senior project, or in overall?
Oh, up
bootcamp?
to you. I mean, it's a good question.
Maybe before the bootcamp, get the MacBook, because I was easier a little bit. I get the feeling it's easier to develop on the MacBook, and I had issues with Ruby also, and I can only develop on for Android, but not for iOS, and yeah, these two issues. But then for the senior project, probably separate the task more for everybody. Sometimes we're working on the same thing, and then one came with a better solution, and all the work that someone did already, got thrown away.
So were you using like a formalized Scrum process, or was it just sort of ad hoc project management?
We had also Scrum process. We used GitHub like easy Scrum process like Kanban. Of course, we discussed it. Should we do it one by one, also one task for one guy? But then we decided, okay, sometimes we need two guys because we don't know this API how it works. Yes.
I think there is one question over there.
You guys kind of touched upon it already, but like I was curious about the challenges of working on by yourself versus working as a team, like technically talking, like versioning, for example. Like, do you have any other issues that was difficult to deal with, or on the converse side that was easier to do, I guess?
Especially in the senior project, we had issue of Google authentication, and if we face that when I faced that challenge, we have two options. Do we need to implement React router, or just keep doing single page application? That decision is kind of hard. So yeah, but yeah, that's it.
In specific to the last project, senior project, error handling is difficult. So our application needs to access the API sometimes, and then if the once happens error, we need to think about what's the results should be shown to user. So we wrote a diagram and then table, and then so in this case we needed to do this and then everything, and we finally implemented. So it's difficult, but yeah, very fantastic experience.
And on this, maybe working alone might be very difficult, but if you have team members to talk, discuss it, I think sometimes it's easier to break this wall. Maybe.
And I would just echo the same thing. Communication, if it's not done well, then there's issues in terms of like, whether you get the project done or not. Well, if you're doing a solo project, it's just you're right. So there's like, but luckily in our team, we communicated well. If there's any issues we have, so that's the benefit. But you also have to make sure if there's a problem, you're vocalizing it.
After we speak not only the same language, we speak really together in the same, not English, what can I say? We only speak English but in the same language, but and then we speak very well. This was very good because sometimes we work together, sometimes alone. How related to the topic.
Yay. So thank you guys so much. I want to leave some time for all of us to mingle, so you guys can approach our students separately and ask them whatever questions you want to. If you guys could scooch a little bit. In the audience, we actually have some students for our upcoming class. So if you are joining us for CC4, please raise your hands really high so everyone can see you. Yeah, don't be shy, there you are. So, our next class, their demo day is June 28th. So I want to invite you guys to their demo day. It's on a Thursday again, and it starts at 7:15. Thank you guys so much for coming. We are so overwhelmed with how many people showed up. Connie actually had to run out halfway through to buy more beer because we were only expecting like maybe 15. So thank you guys so much for coming out. Connie has some last words, but yeah, again, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Our students have been working super hard for 3 months on all of these projects, and they've done more than what they presented today. So I think they deserve a nice cold beer. But before we let everyone get some alcohol, Connie-san, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I hate to be between the beer and you guys. So I'll just make it very quick, but thank you really very much for coming today. It's with your support that we've gotten this far. We haven't advertised this school openly than in our Facebook page and some other social media channels, and we seem to be doing pretty well for our third cohort. My energy and my strength to do this school and to come here and to continue it is basically the students. They've worked so hard the last 3 months. I mean, we push them every day, and it's a tough job, but I feel like they've learned a lot and they've come really far. They've been their strength for each other. I see the camaraderie and the friendship that they have built. How they go out for lunch together and go out hanami together. So they've been really strong together as a pack and supported each other throughout this process. It's not an easy program. We understand that, but they've done tremendously well with the amount of work they have put in 3 months. But what's more really impressive is how they are here in the program today. Same as the CC4 students coming up shortly. They've sacrificed a job, a paycheck, and they're taking a risk. In the case, now we are getting more and more results with our students as they go and double their salaries out there. But these are pioneers who have taken the risk, kind of giving us a chance and unknowingly what's ahead. So I really applaud them for this, and Jan and I, we really want to see more and more people, students like this who feel that there is, it's worth investing in yourself. In Japan, I feel unless the government, your parents or your company pays for your education, you don't do it. And these 6 students here and the next 6, they have taken a huge leap and a huge investment in themselves, believing in a bigger return. So I want to again applaud you guys, and I think we'll raise a glass with some beer to make it more. So good job. So we are very, we didn't anticipate such a big crowd. There's cups there. I have Sharpies. You can write your name on the cup because they will get misplaced. There's tea, and I'll bring the beer out. So help yourself. Let's communicate and get to know each other and have some fun. Thanks.
Yeah. And there's resumes over there. Yay!
Thank you.